At Unit 13 Fitness, we plug the gap between your employee assistance program and the wellness program that you may currently be offering. When we talk to a lot of employers and those who are operationally managing and looking after the employees, what we oftentimes hear back is that there's always an issue with trying to find an uptake from one particular sector in an organization. What we do is we make sure to give that particular sector and those individual employees some time. Time to make sure that they are heard, number one, but number two, that we approach it in a way that we're looking after their own fitness, their strength, their mobility, not necessarily discussing their health markers, but finding out their pain point around trying to keep up a good exercise regime and how best to spend their time. Basically, as you can see here, as I pull up the screens, we have a couple of points to follow. And by the end of this call, it's just giving you some good structure, but we're going to use this template to guide us. I'm not going to throw the kitchen sink at you, but give you some key points to work on this week. I'll check in with you next week, and then we see how we're moving the plan forward. So a lot of your employees may have previous history with working with coaches, doing things like CrossFit, yoga, GAA, soccer, but time now is quite restricted for your employees. Our job as coaches is to firstly sit down with individual employees, build a bit of rapport and find out what time they have available, number one, for their health and fitness. And if they don't, it's just finding out what they're currently doing and making some tweaks along the way and then giving them a better structure in order to spend the time that they do have working on whether it's their strength work, their mobility because of any kind of injuries, their fitness or their nutrition. But this is a coaching call where we get to actually dive in to find out what are their needs and then build that rapport with them over the course of half an hour to 40 minutes to then give them some advice and suggestions. Also give them an action list at the end of the call along with weekly follow-ups and a chance to check in with their coach. So number one, they feel looked after because everybody likes getting taken care of. And number two, we can have some direct feedback in key performance indicators on the employees that took up this call, but then also engaged along the way so that they get some long-term value. And this is coming from you, from your organization, through us. So they will be the ones thanking you for the service that we provide them and the gap that we plug for the issue that you're experiencing in your company. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. I have the notes here in front of me anyway, so we don't necessarily need to do it on video. Just pick up the phone if you're a little bit stuck on site. Okay, so the first one from a movement perspective, we've gotten, so where do you feel you want to focus on over the coming week? So we have some good points there. What's the number one thing you want to achieve over next? Okay, perfect. Listen, I'm going to send on those notes now. You'll have them in your inbox, and then when you get that in your inbox at the same time next week for the call, is okay with you? Okay,